As a day one Wuthering Waves player, the second year anniversary has left me feeling very disappointed, and dare I say that Honkai Star Rail's third year anniversary might just be better. Now, before you guys type your angry comments, I just want to let you guys know this, that Wuthering Waves genuinely is one of my favorite gacha games. I love the story. I think it's the best out of every gacha game. I know I'm going to sound like an insane girlbot, but I think it's the best out of any gacha game. I think that the combat is the best out of any of the gacha games right now. And to say all of that, out of all the gacha games I've ever played, Wuthering Waves is the only game that I've actually spent money on, just because I feel like the game is so good and I've had so much fun and had a lot of enjoyment out of this game that I'm willing to support them out of the out of the own money that I make, right? And so this is the only game that I spent like over $200 in this game because I just genuinely enjoy the game. But I do feel like this anniversary, as a long-term player since playing this game since day one, I felt very disappointed by what the anniversary has to offer. Now, that's not including the story, because I still think the story is great. Again, I think the story is phenomenal, but it really is about like the things that they're giving to us as the players as like a thank you for playing their game. The pulls, it's fine. Honestly, the blue currency that you get for pulling on the standard characters and the standard weapons, I'm just gonna be honest, like as somebody that is a like I would call myself a casual, like I'm the target audience of this game. I hop on every once in a while, I'll play like an entire patch, maybe I'll skip a patch, but and I won't pull, but for the most part, like those blue currencies, like I own almost every character on my account that I own has their signature weapon. So for me, the blue currencies don't really matter too much, but honestly, I feel like there's nothing to spend them on. So us getting them alongside of like the other pulls that we get with inside of this patch just kind of feels like useless, and so it feels relatively disappointing. Now, the other 20 pulls that we're getting 10 in the first half, and I believe in 10 in the second half. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that in and of itself is also pretty disappointing. I kind of wish they either gave us an option to have the astrites to actually pick if we want more on the weapon, because I had like 80 something pulls and I was like, I don't need another 20 something pulls. I already have a guaranteed character, so I don't need the extra pulls. But the weapon pulls would be nice in case if I do have to go to hard pity, which wasn't the case. But that's just something that has been a gripe for me. Now, most of these gacha games, they do just give off the standard pull, the limited pull currency, so that's fine. That's just a personal gripe of mine. But I still do think that they should make that an option, so that if you want more pulls for the weapon, they actually give you more pulls for the weapon. So there's that. But honestly, guys, as just as a veteran player, them not even like giving us a free standard like 1 point, or like not even a standard but just a free 1.0 character, or even buffing them, in the words of a great man,
God! So this is like a spit in the face after you just got slapped. That is what this bullshit here feels like.
In all honesty, if we're to compare this to Honkai Star Rail's version 3 or their third anniversary is so good on so many facets, and it's not the fact that we get relatively the same amount of pulls, but it is what they actually did in this entire patch. If you look at Honkai Star Rail's third year anniversary, we have Silver Wolf level 99, which I'm just going to be honest, right? I hate on Honkai Star Rail a ton. Just for full honesty, I think that Silver Wolf level 99 is cool, but I think it's such a lazy design because they're not really adding new characters. They're just taking old characters and then like kind of mixing them up and then like making them new. I think that's lazy. I want to see like brand new characters, not just like different versions of the same character that we already own. But that's just my own personal thing. But Silver Wolf level 99 still is really cool. The thing that I really want to hone in on is for the people who are veteran players like myself. I played Honkai Star Rail at the launch of the game. I also played Wuthering Waves at the start of the game. The characters that they buffed for this anniversary patch was a character like Zila, who's the original banner in Honkai Star Rail. They buffed Welt, who's a standard banner character who like didn't even need a he needed a buff, but like they didn't need to buff him. They buffed Firefly, who's a almost 2-year-old character, and they buffed Quoho, who's also like a 1.0 character. And those last two characters are characters that honestly didn't even need a buff. And as like a veteran player of HSR, when I heard that Zila was getting buffed, it made me want to come back to the game, because I was like, oh my gosh, this character that used to be like insane at the launch of the game is getting buffed. And like I was excited to, because I own her on one of my accounts, to actually play with her and see how good she is, because I had her built up from when I had pulled her way back then. And so like to see characters not only get old characters get buffed is like a kind of a nice nod to the people who've been playing the game for a really long time, because I mean, gosh, we all know Zila is trash. I mean, like after Imbiber Lune came out, Zila was terrible. But then what they did was they also added in the free limited character selector. And they added a couple of characters in there. They added Quoho, and they added Robin. Now, it's not for any character, but they have like a pool of characters that are limited 5-star characters that you can actually use these specific currencies for to actually pull copies for the characters. And if you had saved up your copies, you could actually get like multiple copies. So I think you could get like, I think it was like E4, maybe max copies of a character if you had saved those up from the first time they had first given these out, when Luocha and Ron May were put in there. But if you had saved those up, you would probably have like 3 to 4 of those, which means that you could at least get 3 copies of a single character, or 3 different copies of multiple characters, which I think is really cool. So not only did they do that, but they also buffed one of the characters that was being added into there, Ho-Ho, which is awesome. And then on top of that, they also added into the summoning feature. So when I was summoning for Silver Wolf, I was given the option to add base Silver Wolf, so like the second or third character in the game, Yun Li, Argenti, and then I can't remember the last character, but I think maybe it was those 3 characters. Anyways, those 3 characters were added into the pool of characters that you could lose your 50-50 to. So not only do you have Blade, you have Welt, you have Yun Li, you have Silver Wolf, you have Zila, you have Argenti, you have all these other characters that you can pull on that are not your standard banner characters. There's only one spot for one standard banner character. In my personal opinion, I think that doing all these things really does add up, especially as a veteran player, even a new player. Plus they gave you the however many they gave us, I believe 20 pulls plus another 10 pull. So that was really cool. So they just gave us a bunch of pulls, and they buffed a bunch of old characters that weren't that great. So as a veteran player of Honkai Star Rail, that made me excited. I could really give a rip about the new Silver Wolf, but I was more excited to see like, oh my gosh, Welt is being buffed, like he's actually insane, or like, wow, Zila got buffed, she's actually insane. And it made me want to come back to the game, and it made me excited to actually play old characters that sucked that are actually now good. And so in a game like Wuthering Waves, there's that feeling of like, man, like I wish that my Yin Lin got buffed. I wish my Gen C got buffed, my Camellia, my Zhang Liao. Like, yeah, sure, Zhang Liao got buffed by Lene, but still, to see those characters that are like not as good as some of the other characters to get buffed up would be really, really cool. Because in all honesty, as a veteran player, I'm just like, well, the only thing to do, or like the only thing to really enjoy outside of the story, is pull for Hiyuki and maybe rerun characters that you don't own, right? But if you were to buff old characters that maybe people had already owned, then there's that excitement. Like me, if they had buffed Yin Lin, I would have been ecstatic over like, I own her and her weapon, okay? So like, I'm not like just your average Yin Lin enjoyer, okay? That was the first ever character I pulled for in Wuthering Wave, so like, I was excited for that character. So for me, if they would have buffed that character, there would have been this excitement to actually come back in the game and be like, oh my gosh, no way Wuthering Waves did this. Like, devs listen moment, right? And so that's just kind of my thoughts and feelings as someone who's like, dare I say, people have called me a curl bot because I glaze Wuthering Waves too much. But like, as someone who's a massive fan of the game, I really do wish that they would have given not only veteran players but even new players just something to look forward to, or even when they pull for older units, that there's like this, oh my gosh, like, even though, yeah, this character is not as good as Hiyuki, they're still really strong and they're really fun to play because, hey, they got buffed. Same thing like Zila. Sure, Zila's not as good as Archer, but she's still really freaking solid. Like, I've watched the showcases of her and she looks really good. So, and she looks fun to play now that they've buffed her. So those are just like some things and just some thoughts that I had about just comparing the two anniversaries as I kind of played HSR's anniversary. And then I came over to Wuthering Waves and I was like, man, like, I don't feel as excited. It just kind of feels like, well, I just pull for Yuki and then that's pretty much it. Like, HSR, I'm like, oh, I got Zila. Like, I'm like, if I lose a 50-50, I'm like, well, sweet, Zila's good now. Like, she got buffed. Or if I get a welt, I'm like, sweet, he's buffed. He's actually good. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.